Hello everyone, this is Joseph Lucier here. For people that are new to us, this is Tongren Distance healing. What that means is from this location, with you observing, being the observer, you will be able to receive healing energy after putting in your requests. And we will begin because we have on my website, anusarwellness.com, a list of requests if you go there, or on Facebook pages we have right now on tongrenhealer.com and Facebook Anusara Wellness. That's the handle for these different locations. So right now we're having an issue with one of them, but we will continue on and we will get our requests and go one by one. We use a 3-part process that I use for my healing teaching. I teach this technique, which is called Tongren, based upon the point system of Tom Tam. And we'll begin with Gartor. And I've been going to other locations, and maybe we will be together on other places. And as I go for my own tune-ups with other people, I can also use some self-care. And to help others. So let's begin with our 3-part process. So Gartor says aortic sclerosis, that's inflammation, type 2 diabetes. So the focus for type 2 diabetes, which will also reduce inflammation and help with the aortic sclerosis, and there are also some good herbs for that, is to eat plant-based and eliminate insulin resistance, which is high fat, low or no fiber. You do the opposite, high fiber, low or no fat, at least around 10%. That's the math for diabetes and our own bodies. But we will work on inflammation and the pancreas for you. We use a 3-part process. And we start to initialize the brain-wound connection from the command points of the brain and the command points of the brain stem. So inflammation T1 to T8 and T7 for the aorta as well. And T8 for the pancreas. So let me know how you're doing, Gartor. Next we have Edna, all our regular friends. And we could do some grounding for Gartor, and then we work with Edna. And you'll still continue to receive healing chi throughout the session, Gartor, as we create a biophotonic field with our own very convenient biophoton generators. You can see them behind me, and we have our orgonite field calibration devices as well. All kinds of cool stuff. So Edna, tap for strength, soft palate muscle. Why is that an issue? Speech inflammation behind vocal cords. I'm sure you've probably done things like salt water or castor oil on that outside would be my first recommendation in addition to Tongren. But let's work on the soft palate muscle. So we do command points of the brain. But let's focus on the palate muscle, speech. See 3, 4, and 5. speech GB789 for the Broca and Wernicke areas. T1 to T8. Again, C3, 4, and 5 for the area behind the vocal cords. Left foot drop. So we work on the nerves, so vitamin B12, castor oil packs with DMSO, and essential oils. So brachial plexus for the arms, and let's make sure we are being seen properly. Yep, there we are. Make sure we are being seen. And let me do this. And hello, Roy. Oh, Dell. I'm just look at the name real quick. Dell, great to see you. So let's set up a Twina training in the UK for you and for everyone. And have a field trip to Liverpool to see the home of the Beatles. And all the other great history of the UK, castles, prehistoric discoveries, archaeology, all that great stuff. So Edna palette we did. So for Edna, again, focus brachial plexus for the arms. Massage castor oil into those arms. And then lumbosacral plexus for the legs and massage castor oil with DMSO also. And for your husband's thyroid, that would also be they have specialized ones. I can send you a link. Specialized castor oil packs. There's a link above actually for Shop Arandi for a castor oil pack wrap that goes around the thyroid area. But let's focus on the superior inferior thyroid arteries. C6, C7 for the thyroid directly. T1 to T8. So you need iodine, you need kelp, you need sea vegetables. And growth hormone for the granddaughter's heart, GV20. T5. CV17 for the heart as well. For the granddaughter's heart. For all teeth, I've finally figured which company I prefer to use for teeth and gums health. It has hydroxyapatite and nanohydroxyapatite, and it seems to be the teeth favorite of the day. CV17. And for the teeth, let's do the ouch point of the teeth for a relaxed guest. And I'm just curious how people are doing, better, worse, the same. And thank you for asking, Radiant Power. How can you support my Tongren personal need? I'm going to be going to support. I tell everybody to get self-care, but I don't do it for myself. So now I'm going to focus And we have thrilled character. Okay, who's that? Please tap to continue a healing process of the lungs. Nice wording. Rachel, Luna, Rio, and let's see. Absolutely. I highly suggest a boat cruise. That will fix everything. So, Edna, you've been using castor oil for a month. How's it going? Let me know how that's going. And we will tap for Sjogren's, Hashimoto's, father's continued stroke recovery. Okay, great. That would definitely be an opportunity for massage, increased blood flow, castor oil, DMSO, and essential oils. That triple approach is incredibly powerful. Acid reflux, and Joe Lucifer. Okay, so we are on track. Relax guests. Yep, DMJ, C3, C4 for relaxed guest. C3, 4, and 5 for tonsils. Wow, I don't know what those are. I gifted those to the medical industry when I was a kid. Ears, C3, 4, and 5, the ouch point for the ears. Cervical spine, C1 to C7. Thoracic spine, T1 to T12. Lumbar spine, L1 to L5. And lumbosacral plexus for the left foot. So if you're not doing it yet, please have your feet flat on the floor, palms face up. Breathe in and out through the nose, ideally longer exhales than inhales to activate the relaxation response in the vagus nerve. Tracy, welcome. And why not? Why not? I agree. Why not? Let's do it. Hamstrings, hammies. Okay, that sounds like an opportunity for warrior pose and yoga. And foot pain. Oh, wow. Foot soaks, clay slurries with castor oil and essential oils, and good things for pain, alpha lipoic acid, B12, and you can put some cayenne pepper in that slurry or clay poultice as well at night, and just leave it on overnight. Cover your foot with socks or light bandages. That's another option. So let's do that right now. Blood flow to the brain. Command points to the brain and brain stem for Dell. Blood flow, nerve flow, anti-inflammation for Dell, T1 to T8. So, hamstrings. Let's start with the mid-back, lower back, lumbosacral plexus, and the hamstrings themselves. Ouch point. And again, lumbosacral plexus, hamstrings, and foot pain. Liver 3, spleen 6, kidney 1. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to go to the UK. That would be great. UK, maybe Scotland. Have you been to Scotland? Or Ireland, Del? Okay, Tracy, you are next. Blood flow to the brain. Good things for bones. There's a kit called Grow Bone. There's a process that I use with Cissus quadrangularis liquid silica Grow Bone kit. GB20 for endocrine and bone growth. Sunlight initializes all the hormones of the body, and that will help also with growth. T1 to TA for inflammation. T1 especially for the bones. L2 especially for the bones from Chinese medicine. Kidneys for the bones as well. Da Zhui is T1. Mingmen area for L2. T9 the liver. So let's do T7, 8, 9. Spleen, pancreas, and liver. T1 to T8 again for an immune boost. T9 right side liver. L1, L2 adrenals and kidneys. And Chris, Mary, endometrial and peritoneal, lumbosacral plexus, lumbar 3 to 5, sacrum 1 to 5. And T3, cell, lung cancer, small airway disease. Wow, 5 years to and fro Scotland, Ireland. You've never seen the color green until you visited Ireland. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, that's really... My ancestors are from Ireland and Eastern Europe, I guess. Maybe Native American, I think, as well. English, for sure. Anyone on this continent has got some relatives from usually UK, Native American, Irish, French, German. I don't have Polish. And I think North Africa as well. But Ireland, that's my mom is Mary Dorothy Reardon. Okay. All right. Sounds like a road trip coming up. Let's go to the brain. Endometrial is also CV 4. Lungs are also CV17. Two-part Native American herbal remedies. Black salve, advanced Essiac. Acidity buffering with pH adjusts. Advanced baking soda, 3-part baking soda. Ivermectin, fenbendazole, and of course Tongren, Tuina, acupuncture with the TAM healing system. Thoracentesis. I don't know. I've never heard that before. So the lungs for sure, and lung 1, lung 2. Tracy. In Chinese medicine. And again, CV17. Ascites, right side pain. Let's use the vagus nerve from top to bottom. GB12. Kidney 1. Actually around kidney 10. On both sides. Thoracentesis, post-nasal drip. Definitely neti pots, N-E-T-I pots, or the... Okay, thoracentesis, thank you. I'm looking at that now. Okay, thoracentesis, okay. Thank you for updating that. Gentle civilian, no worries. And Edna, TMJ also will do all that. Can castor oil be used on the skin without washing it off? Absolutely. You just leave a wrap on it. A lot of times people leave it overnight. Yeah. And you had a lump in your neck internally and it's smaller. Is that because you used, Edna, castor oil on that area? Maybe castor oil and frankincense? And a healing process of the lungs. The RLR team. Okay, let's make sure we don't miss anyone. Okay, Jibindas. Overactive bladder. There's a bladder strength herb from the company from the company Crystal Star to strengthen the muscles. Of course, there's always the Kegel exercise, which is a great exercise for that as well. And then, of course, don't drink after, say, 7 o'clock. Gwen. Oh, it's Gwen. Gotcha. Hi, Gwen. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. Getting better. That's great news. Glad to hear it. Bone spur in your right foot. That could be a sign of acidity, so I would definitely reduce acidic foods such as processed foods and meats. And then there's a product called pH Adjust, sodium bicarbonate, potassium carbonate, magnesium bicarbonate, I think. And that will neutralize acid in the body. It's a good thing to take it first thing in the morning. Okay, so let's do the lumbosacral plexus for the right foot. Ouch point for the right foot. Spleen 6 for the right foot. But calcium balancing, C6, C7, that's what we're talking about. Thyroid, parathyroid, C6, C7, Gwen. Sea vegetables, kelp, all those good things for the thyroid and the most mineralizing foods in the world. And for clay products, vitalityherbsandclay.com. If you email me, I can get you my discount. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1 for Gwen. And let's go back to our Facebook. Jules Perry, you're in UK too. Have you guys met? I know it's a big country, but just curious. So what part of the UK are you in, Dell, and what part of the UK are you in, Perry? Jules. Cornwall. Oh, I see. Cornwall in the far southwest. Would be great to connect with Tongren folks this side of the pond. Wise Local. Oh, you're a Wise Local in the Anusar chat. Thank you very much. And I think you're in the London area part-time and then the north, if I understand correctly, Dell. But anyway, good to connect you guys. And I will look for Wise Local. Probably coming up. So next we have Radiant Power. Tap for Jim D. Jim D is doing better, worse, or the same. Let me know. It's from using the castor oil. The castor oil is a winner. The only additional things you can do with castor oil to make it even more effective is DMSO. Of course, time and duration. Sometimes you can even add clay. I don't think you need the clay in this situation, or essential oils. That's the strategy. That's an advanced strategy people are using for all of these. The castor oil has been great, and there are some things you can make it even greater and greatest. So let's work for Jim D and Gentle Civilian. Don't worry about my name. That happens all the time. Blood flow to the brain. Brain command points. Prostate is endocrine in the endocrine chain, so we work on hypothalamus, pituitary. Calcification to the blood vessels mean too much calcium is leaching from the bones, which means there's too much inflammation, and then the pH is getting disrupted through acidity. So I highly suggest that product, pH Adjust, with 3 carbonates and bicarbonates to buffer the blood. High blood pressure, GV17. T1 for the bones and anemia. Sea vegetables would be my first recommendation. Sprouts, dark leafy greens would be my second. In addition to, of course, Tongren. If anyone is interested, there are still a few seats available Saturday for the Twina hands-on workshop, first time in about 4 years, since before COVID. And Emily C. Ovarian, L3. Also for less for ovarian and the bones. L3 and T1 for less. lung, liver metastases. So the best ways to prevent metastases are to prevent aggregation of cancer cells that will spread. Number two is through Dr. Rath, who has developed a protocol for cancer metastases prevention in his book, The Cure, The End of Cancer, I think it's called. He's from Europe, so he gets away with those titles. Victory Over Cancer. That's the name of his book. Lung and liver. So T9, T3 for the lungs. So when you think of metastases, you think of systemic alkalizing, building the inner terrain, the gut, with fiber and probiotics. Fermented foods is the best. And next we have Kathy M, colon cancer. T11, T12, L4, L5. Also for the microbiome for Emily. So let's work on these different metastases area. T7, the spleen. T8, the pancreas. T9, the liver. And for Terry Q, T8 is pancreas. And T1 to T8 for diabetes. It's type 2, which means it can be reversed through focusing on the cause, which is insulin resistance and the diet. Feet and toe neuropathy, you've got to address this quickly because eventually you will lose circulation to your feet and your toes, and there is a possibility that they will have to be removed through surgery because they will basically have no circulation and the tissues will die, the nerves will die. So I would definitely focus on diet, hydration, nutrition, exercise, castor oil packs on your feet with cayenne pepper right away, vitamin B12, alpha lipoic acid for neuropathy as well. Jim's numbers are hugely better. PSA dropped from 693 to 140 in a month with ESIAC. Yes. You rock. That's great. ESIAC. Oh, and Tongren. Oh, good. ESIAC, Tongren, Fenben, ivermectin, and other healing. Yep, you're on the right track. Alkphos also dropped. That's a challenge. That can be difficult. Alkaline phosphatase. Anemia up 1 point. Sea vegetables, exercise, sunrise, sunlight. Oh, I'm sorry. Anemia in a good way. Okay, up 1 point. 7.4, 9.5, 10.6. Yay. Yes, thank you to all. Yes, let's all support Jim. T1 to T8. Keep up the great work, Jim. All right. Karen from Illinois, welcome. See if there are any other comments. And we will not miss Mashari and Laura. Oh, there you are, Timid Legend. Gotcha. pH adjust. Where to get that? I think Pure Formulas Company is the one that I can get it from now. It's actually on Amazon sometimes. It gets out of stock, but it's pH adjust. 3 sodium, magnesium, potassium carbonates and bicarbonates for the best. And you do it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. And we are busy. Okay. We probably have 100 requests tonight. Karen from Illinois. Cervical dystonia. Okay, blood flow to the brain. Initialize the brain for the brain wound connection. And the cervical, C1 to C7. There's an organization I've looked into. It actually looks very good. Scoliosis can be worked on through Tuina. Also, there's a place called ScoliFit that really looks like they got it right. And spinal stenosis, you can do threading. It's not threading. Nerve. What do you do for your teeth? Flossing. Nerve flossing, yes. Scoliosis, we work on all the muscles on the left side to loosen them up, and on the right side, and allow the muscles to leave the nerves from pulling to one side and straighten them out. Spinal stenosis, T1. Spinal flossing. Check it out, Karen. You move your foot and your head, and you're moving your nerves. You're getting them free space because the stenosis is the closing. And for headache in the back of your head, that's GB20 is the point. That is an intersection, a traffic point for blood flow, and it's a classic point for migraines and headaches. GB20. And Wise Local. Perimenopause. GB20 and 22. Hypothalamus, pituitary, endocrine system. Genitourinary pain, L1 to L5. Cysts. Gastropacks do their thing for cysts. There's also a poultice from Volmer with chaparral, 2 other herbs, and DMSO and castor oil. And you can even add a little bit of clay. Depression, there's an herbalist. Of course, fermented foods, number 1 for depression, Tongren as well. And then the company BH Herbals that has a depression herbal remedy for that specific purpose. Acid reflux, pH adjust. Genitourinary, so L1 to L5, S1 to S5. Cysts, CV4, and also CV4 for depression, but the microbiome, T11, T12 for depression, L4, L5 for depression as well. Wise Local. L3 for perimenopause, GB20, hypothalamus, pituitary, also for perimenopause. And we keep checking for any discussions, so we keep those moving. Yeah, I thought you were in London, Del. That's what I thought. Okay. So Jules Perry and Hua Del, there you go. You guys are in the same country, and it is late there. Wow. What is it? Midnight 42. After midnight. Wise Local. I just worked with you on the other side there. And let's continue on. And let's tap for acid reflux as well. For fortunate individuals in the Wise Local. Father's continued stroke recovery. Good job. Wheatgrass balm on the hands. I've seen stroke hands open with this wheatgrass balm. It reestablishes the brain wound connection just like Tongren does. It opens up the nerves. There are videos of this actually working and opening up the actual hands of stroke victims. So that would be a really good option for you. It's wheatgrass balm. If you're in the US, it's from a company called grassfactor.com. Get the wheatgrass balm, the strongest one. Put it on no more than 2 to 3 times a week, never 2 days in a row. And the Hashimoto's tune-up coming up. Stroke. GB13, left side, right side. Both sides of the brain. And the Hashimoto's tune-up, C6, C7, gut microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5, and CV4, which will also support Candida. Spore-based probiotics are a really good option for Candida. High blood pressure, GV17. And for all the nerves reconnecting with stroke, brachial plexus of the arms, lumbosacral plexus for the legs. What side has been impacted as well? Let me know, Wise Local. And continue with the Hashimoto's tune-up, C6, C7, hypothalamus, pituitary, and dry eyes. Sounds like a medication side effect. Clarity, GV17, in Tong area. The Temple of Yin, as Flash Gordon would say. Sjogren's. See if I can get more detail on that. There it is. Sjogren's chronic systemic autoimmune condition, body-wide, caused by dry eyes and dry mouth due to inflammation of the exocrine glands that produce tears and saliva. Okay. So, Jules, are you on the Tongren community? Because that's a place we all go to meet. We have a specific website created for the Tongren community. We have chats, we have video instruction that I've created, a whole library of that. We have preferred products. All the products that I talk about are ones that I've researched, vetted, and extensively interrogated. Those are the only ones that I recommend. And that's also listed there for people as a resource for their own practice and for their own healing. And we have every other weekly live sessions as well for questions, Q&A to hear what people ask me, and then information I can give back, advanced topics. Okay. Blood flow to the brain. Benevolent specimen. Sounds contradictory. Tap for Sjogren's, as it says, salivary glands, lacrimal glands, systemic inflammation, sore neck, C3, 4, and 5, shoulder release point for everyone. T1 to T8 for autoimmune. So Edna, you've been using the castor oil for a month now due to muscle weakness. Your speech gets nasally. Definitely high dose of vitamin B12. Trying to think of what other essential oils are good for the nerves. Of course, this cayenne pepper for circulation to the nerves, the extremities. T1 to T8 for Edna as well. Shoulder and back, by the way, for benevolent specimen. Shoulder release point. GP21 and lumbosacral brachial plexus. And let's work with Rachel. Blood flow to the brain. And let's work on the lungs. Lung 1, lung 2, Chinese medicine. T1 to T8 anti-inflammation. T3 for the lungs. Let's really get this going. T5, T6 for the diaphragm for the lung capacity. CV17 for the lungs as well. And as I said, the castor oil you can leave on. It's better to leave on for a while as well. So we will work with Edna TMJ. And specifically for thoracentesis. Blood flow to the brain. TMJ, let's work on the ouch point of the teeth. C6, C7, nerves for the teeth. Blood flow, facial artery to the teeth. And while we're working, I just want to check in to see who's here. T1 to T8. Water, kidney organ, L2. Can you do some rebounding? And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1 with the lungs again for the thoracentesis. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Brave self. So, brave self, you are with a large group, or is this is great, with a large group or a family, or are these people you're tapping for? That'd be a good question. Brave self. So let's begin. Happy Thursday evening. Chi, MB. I keep forgetting what MB is for. Muchas gracias. MB. Is that not MS, but MB? If you could remind me of that again. I'm drawing a blank on MB. So Venus Williams has Sjogren's. Interesting. With all her money and fame, she hasn't figured it out. She needs to come to our class. Thursdays. Tell her. Thursday night, 6 Eastern Time. Blood flows to the brain. Command points of the brain, brain stem, lower eyelid springs. Is that getting any better with the castor oil? Let me know. I hope so. Still seems to be a problem for you. MB. Can you let me know what that is again? I forget it every single week. Wise Local. Let's read this for everyone. Your father is definitely benefiting from these weekly Tongren sessions. Yes, his left side was affected by the stroke. They have a company in the UK for Dr. Wheatgrass. This stuff for strokes. There's a video from Dr. Wheatgrass that I interviewed of a guy, he couldn't drive and his hand was like this. He used it. It opened his hand. His left side was affected by the stroke, so right side brain. Yes, check out our community. Dell knows all about it. He's in it. Let me put the link in here for the community. I think I just want to verify the link. We have so many links. Yep, community.unnecessarywellness.com. And here's the link for everyone that wants to know. Yeah. No, not Pines. Nope, not Pines. Oh, well, Dr. Wheatgrass, but the wheatgrass balm. It's concentrated, which means it has a higher amount of ligands. I have some right here. This is a spray, but I want you to have more focused one. This is the one in the US. There's one in the UK. The Pines is a powder. It's not concentrated enough for what you need. When you concentrate the ligands, it accelerates the brain wound connection and it heals nerves. The wheatgrass powders are great, but you need more concentration. The grassfactor.com is the US version. drwheatgrass.com is the home site. Eyelid spring is still loosening. Mucus coming out. Still loosening. Great. Good news. There it is. drwheatgrassuk.co.uk. I'll put the link in. And there it is. And they have incredible case studies. Yeah, this is really the highest quality you can do. So I put it there, and I will put it here. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's work with pH adjust. We get that. I think it's Pure Formulas Company, but it's a few, and it is even available on Amazon. So let's tap for Perfect Blood, and for Shari and Laura, blood flow to the brain. TB13 right side for Laura. Balanced hormones, hypothalamus and pituitary. Go down the chain, C6, C7, thyroid, parathyroid, L3 for the prostate or ovaries, thymus, T3. Bones, T1 for the bones. Perfect blood comes from the bones, the bone marrow. T3 for the lymph, T7 for the spleen for the lymph. And let's do a complete lymph tune-up for everyone. 6 parts. The neck, sky window, axillary lymph of the armpits, inguinal lymph of the groin. Immune system boost for Shari, T1 to T8. And spleen 6. Also for the spleen. And much abundance in Tong, third eye connecting to your true self, where you will connect with the abundance and infinity of the universe, connected through the amplification of your own heart of compassion. So arrhythmias and constipation. So glaucoma from ethosvision.com. Arrhythmias from BH Herbals. They have an herbal remedy for arrhythmia. Constipation from Paris or from the US. Oxy powder from globalhealing.com. Rachel Luna Rio. Sounds like Mardi Gras. But let's work for glaucoma. C3 for the eyes for glaucoma, and GV17 for the eyes for arrhythmia. And for glaucoma for Paris. Arrhythmia, T5 for the heart, but hypothalamus, that's one of the regulators of the bioelectricity of the body. Constipation, T11, T12, L4, and L5. You could even use castor oil packs on the T11, T12, L4, L5 area as well, or just castor oil or castor with poke oil. and grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. Great to hear from you. Yes, it's a wheatgrass concentrate. I know because I talked to the guy. His name is Dr. Reynolds. I've interviewed him twice, and he had pictures of his case studies. And we have discussed, and he figured out, he knows more than I do, the reason is the higher concentration of ligands, which improves the brain-wound connection, which is a lot what we do. When I do part 1, the brain points, brain command points, and brain stem command points, I'm doing the same. I'm initializing the brain, and then I go to the wound connection. That's how it works, and that's really effective. So we've always had that in common. And what else? I've not known about the community. I just put in the links for the community. It's 11:54 in the UK. Definitely worth staying up for. Currently wearing, yes, wear your blue blockers. Yeah, and hope to be up for sunrise tomorrow. You're the best. That's the best. It's amazing how powerful that is. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I do research, and I have looked at so much data on how good that is for everything. And grounding. And while you're outside, be barefoot. That's the only additional thing. But you're on it. Okay, eyelid springs are doing better. And Sunny Gem. And we'll finish up with Sunny Gem. Okay. And don't forget, for people local or coming in from, we have people coming from different states for the Tuina workshop Saturday. We also have a quantum biology workshop coming up, I think, in a couple of weeks. That's all about blue blockers. I only interview people that I think have an exceptional product and have exceptional character. Those are my 2 requirements. Mole, T1 to T8 for Sunny Gem. You just got in there, 6:58, but you made it. We don't want to miss anyone. Smoke, T1 to T8, then the lungs, T3. T1 to T8 infection, chemicals. So clay detox is the key in this situation. Sinuses, C3, 4, and 5. Neti pot for sinus and lung infections, T3 for the lungs, lung 1, lung 2, and Chinese medicine also for the lungs, CV17. The laser is really good for the lungs. Which reminds me, I know somebody with some lung stuff going on. I'm going to bring them a laser. They may have one already. Grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. I think we had over 100 requests, and we did them all. And I think we're good. Yes. So next, what we do, especially if people are not familiar with our process, we do Qigong, charge the battery. Ideally, we focus on the lower dantian with the main charge, which is distributed to the other dantians and the whole body. CV4. So sit with your feet flat on the floor, palms face up, breathing in and out through the nose, ideally longer exhales, which will invoke the relaxation response. Make sure. Liver health and tooth issues, I did not see that a moment ago, and we will do that. We'll focus on it through Qigong, T9 for everyone. Tooth issues. See 3, 4, and 5. facial artery to the teeth, ouch point for the jaw and the teeth as well, throat chakra area, and from Tongren, liver T9, and tooth issues C3, 4, and 5, and the ouch point. Some extra ouch point for the eyes for Faris's mum, T5 for the heart and arrhythmia, and hypothalamus for the bioelectrical initialization of the whole body. Liver 3 and kidney 1, and here we tap for clearing. Yes, wide local. You have you're in the UK, so there is wheatgrass.co.uk, so you can get that. Have a great weekend. And for people local, it is a long weekend, and the weather looks perfect. And I will see you all next time. Thanks very much.